Health is real, seek help, and the stigma. On the news this evening, mother cries out as son, 7 schoolgirls abducted by pirates in River State. Group lawyer call for inclusive peace talks amid Rivers emergency rule. Abure-led Labour Party faction suspends Governor Oti, Ireti Kingibe. Senate passes 2 tax reform bills. On the foreign scene, Israeli strikes on Gaza City restaurant and market kill 20. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break. Welcome back. Martha Benjamin, the distraught mother of a teenage boy, says her only son was among those kidnapped when pirates hijacked a passenger boat with 13 people on board along the Isaka waterways. She told our correspondent that her son was on his way to Bile to write his exams when the incident happened. Martha, who hails from Bile in Degama local government area, also revealed that 7 teenage girls also heading to take their exams were among the passengers taken by the pirates.
Praying today because of my child that they collect. The pirates attacked them yesterday. In the morning, he told me he want to go to Bile. They called me that my son is among the people that they have kidnapped passengers, 13 passengers, 7 girls. All of them, they want to ride Wayek. And this boy will not like this Wayek. The girls are there. They don't rape them. Please, government, come and help us in Bile Kingdom so we cannot go to our own village again. They collect the boat in this Saka River, yeah. They've not even reached Bile, they've not even reached the open river.
Meanwhile, 2 concerned Bile residents have expressed deep fear over the safety of the 7 young girls and are calling on security agencies, especially the Marine Police, to act swiftly and rescue the victims.
A full boat loaded 13 passengers going from Port Harcourt to Bile to ride a Wayek as hijacked by the sea pirates. And the people that identified them said it's the Tantita uniform that they wear to hijack the sea pirates. We are use this opportunity to plead for the government and security agencies to please help us and bring our children so that they can fully ride the Wayek.
Sea pirates kidnapped our children. Army camouflage. They came and apprehended our children. And among those people, the 13 passengers, we have 7 teenagers. They are all girls that we are going for their Wayek, to write their Wayek. Please, we are calling on the government to come and help we, the Bile women, the Bile, to secure our river. Our river is no more secure anymore. Please, government, come to Bile rescue.
As you may know, some unidentified gunmen carried out a series of daring attacks along the waterways in River State, abducting at least 16 people in separate incidents. The first assault was said to have occurred near the Borokiri axis of Port Harcourt, where pirates intercepted a wooden cargo boat en route to Bonny in the Bonny local government area. While there were 5 passengers aboard, 3 were forcibly taken away on Tuesday. However, an elderly man and the boat driver were left behind. In a chilling repeat of violence, another boat piloted by the same captain, whose vessel was attacked just weeks prior, was ambushed near Isaka in Okrika local government area. Speaking on the recurring attacks, Odia Igbiki Oyibo, information officer of the Ijo Youth Council in Bile, urged both the federal and state governments to approve the formation of local security outfits to help protect the waterways. He said the frequent pirate attacks have brought untold hardship and fear to the people of Bile.
Calling on the government to approve community police to work with the security authority that are resident in that area. We have some security bodies. We know they are working, but it's not easy to comb the river. So we indulge the government to approve a community police to work with the security agency in the territory so that our waterway will be peaceful and safely for all users. Last month, a boat was hijacked. The 6 passengers was taken away by the sea pirates, and the community struggled to pay ransom, about 30 million naira, to secure their victim.
When contacted, the spokesperson for the River State Police Command, Grace Iringekoko, said the Commissioner of Police has directed his tactical team and the officer in charge of Marine Police to intensify efforts to ensure the safe release of all kidnapped victims. In another development, the River State Commissioner of Police, CP Olugbenga Adepoju, has promised to intensify surveillance and engage with the leadership of herdsmen to address the menace of herdsmen in the area. CP Olugbenga Adepoju said this during a stakeholder meeting held in Eche on behalf of the sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas. He also assured them that the state government will deploy additional security personnel to flashpoints, facilitate stakeholder dialogues with herdsmen leadership, fast-track rehabilitation of hospitals, schools, and youth empowerment programs, among others. Our correspondent reports that the CP also represented the state administrator at another town hall meeting in Omuma local government area, where he promised to investigate and punish the divisional police officer, Chima Uzoma, who was accused of collaborating with criminals to steal crude. The town hall meetings in the Eche and Omuma local government areas were attended by traditional rulers and other stakeholders who complained about the activities of herdsmen and land grabbers, among many other complaints. In other news, the River State High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, has ordered all parties involved in the dispute over a land in Gbalam, Mini, Weku, Mbodoalu, along Tam West Road in Ikwere local government area, to immediately cease all forms of development or interference on the said land. According to the court documents dated March 28, 2025, cited by our correspondent, the court presided over by Justice S.H. Aprioku gave the order while ruling on the interlocutory application filed by Clubec Nigeria Limited, the claimant in suit number PHC/2272/CS 2024. Justice Aprioku directed both the claimant and defendants to produce a composite survey plan from the Office of the Surveyor General of River State within 21 days. The decision comes amid a legal contest between Clubec Nigeria Limited and 5 defendants, including Michael Amadi Owu, Ample Construction Nigeria Limited, Chief Chris Wike, Mr. Joseph Norum Wali, and Nasir A. Ibiloye Esquire. The matter was adjourned to June 3, 2025 for the pre-trial conference and production of the composite survey plan. Some farmers in River State have decried the implication of early harvesting of crops on the farmer and the nation's economy. As you may know, some farmers from Ahoda West and East local government areas say they have started early harvesting to avoid being affected by impending floods. Speaking with correspondent Onyeka Chiwonsu, a rice farmer Godwin Akandu and a cucumber farmer Obinna Ejiofo said early harvesting will lead to food shortage in the future.
We harvest gradually so as to sustain our family. But now, people are forced to harvest because if you don't, it will rotten on the ground because of flood. Your farm will be damaged and swept away. So it will lead to food shortage in nearest future. But for now, because of flood, they will be forced to harvest premature crops.
Take for instance, assuming Obibo is doing 500 metric tons of cassava in a year. And by virtue of flooding, they harvested early. So their contribution to the total productivity of River State will dwindle. They will lose about 70% of their contribution to the state total yield in crops. So it has a negative effect.
The farmer said the situation could also lead to high cost of living due to low productivity.
it will not only affect the farmer, but the public that depended on that farmer. At that time, you will see that what the economists call power of monopoly will play its role, because there will be few vendors in the market. It will lead to scarcity, it will lead to high cost of living.
That particular portion of land cannot be maximized again. For example, you have to do 3 cropping of cucumber in a plot of land, or maize 2 times, and there's an early harvesting because of expected flooding. That is what you are going to produce that year. So definitely, productivity will drop, yield will drop. If you are those who are using micro loans to fund your farm, returning the principal and interest will be highly jeopardized because you're only doing 1 cropping.
Moving on, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board has attributed the helicopter crash that killed Rivers stakeholder and former Access Holdings CEO Herbert Wigwe, his wife, son, and 3 others to pilot error caused by spatial disorientation. The NTSB report released today further indicted the helicopter company, accusing it of inadequate oversight of its safety management processes. Preliminary reports earlier showed that the helicopter crashed while operating under visual flight rules in what ultimately became instrument meteorological conditions, requiring different flight protocols and instrumentation. The U.S. accident investigators further revealed that the helicopter company failed to ensure pilots properly completed flight risk analysis, recorded maintenance issues, and followed required regulations before departure. The crash, which occurred near the California-Nevada border on the 9th of February 2024, claimed the lives of all 6 people on board, including Wigwe, his wife Doreen, their son Chizzy, and Abimbola Ogunbanjo, the former group chairman of Nigerian Exchange Group PLC. Still to come, Abure-led Labour Party faction suspends Governor Oti and Ireti Kingibe. Stay tuned.
When in dire need of assistance or help within Rivers State, please contact the Rivers Emergency Service with the following numbers: 0904
Back. Amid the ongoing state of emergency in Rivers State, civil society groups and legal experts are calling for inclusive and genuine peace talks. The peace advocate and convener of the Rivers Peace Initiative, Obinna Egbogidi, told correspondent Soibi Oruwari that it's important to involve all key stakeholders when settling the terms for peace.
Any of these peace moves to succeed, the truth is that the key actors, particularly Governor Sim Fubara, former Governor Nyesom Wike, the Right Honorable Martins Amule-led House of Assembly, must have to bury their differences quickly and genuinely for the greater good of Rivers people. I must say that the people of Rivers State deserve peace and a return to democratic governance, not this prolonged conflict and confusion that we have had for a long time now. We cannot keep sacrificing the future of our state on the altar of ego and political control.
Mr. Egbogiri also pointed out that supporters of political leaders on both sides have been using social media in ways that disrupt the peace efforts.
Social media should not be used to sustain the conflict or add salt to injuries and even make the reconciliation moves harder. Instead, the time has come for us to use our voices and platforms to encourage unity, truth, and peace. So the content being shared online has already caused serious harm and continues to undermine the quiet mediation efforts that are ongoing. Meaning son and daughter of Rivers State must put aside personal biases and political loyalties and support the peaceful return of democratic governance.
Mr. Egbogede, however, added that the Senate committee set up to handle issues in the Rivers State Assembly seems to be driven more by politics than by a real desire to do its job.
This action, I must say, rather than helping the situation, does appear politically motivated. If genuine oversight was the goal, question is, why couldn't the Senate and House of Representatives form a single joint committee to reduce costs and avoid legislative bottlenecks and confusion? One would want to also ask why it took the Senate nearly 2 months to take this action. This kind of decision making only adds more tension and gives the crisis an appearance of federal endorsement instead of helping Rivers State find a peaceful resolution.
Meanwhile, Peter Mazi, who is the Program and Communication Coordinator for Social Action, said that any peace talks that ignore the will of the people or just serves to boost politicians' egos should be discouraged.
If we are going to circumvent, if we are going to compromise the interest of the Rivers people for certain political interest, individual interest, then for me that is not peace. Anything that will make us to circumvent the progress of Rivers State, anything that will make certain persons, political stalwarts, may call them, that will mortgage the interest of Rivers State, for me it is not peace. So whatever we do, whatever talk we have to have, the most important thing is the development and the political structure of Rivers State should not be mortgaged. Anything other than that, for me, is not peace.
Mazi stressed that the 18-member Senate committee should instead focus on looking into how the sole administrator is managing the state's funds.
You look back to the procedure they followed in ratifying that state of emergency, and the reason why funds were withheld from the state concerning the democratically elected structure that was jettisoned. Now we hear funds are being released to the state. So who is going to account for those funds? How will this committee recommend transparent or to carry out oversight function on these funds that have been released? So for me, I think that the National Assembly, by their own action, seem to have been biased or compromised in the process. So I don't see anything different what we have seen.
Also, Port Harcourt-based lawyer Uche Olewune says he does not expect anything impressive from the Senate committee's review of the sole administrator's actions.
Beginning, the National Assembly ought to be in charge to know what exactly this man is doing, how much money is he getting, how is he spending it, and everything about his administration. But I think possibly they decided to look the other way around. But now, if they choose to wake up now, the National Assembly ought to exercise serious oversight function or duties over the sole administration to know how he's spending, because this is public fund. The man shouldn't just be allowed to wake up and spend money the way he likes. But of course, you know the Nigerian situation. Tomorrow night, you may hear that the man will not appear, or even when he appears, the next thing they will hear, off the mic. And
the caretaker committee of the Labour Party, led by Senator Nadi Usman, has launched an investigation into Julius Abure over allegations of misconduct, including corruption, misappropriation of party funds, and anti-party activities. At a press briefing in Abuja today, Senator Usman accused Abure of persistently parading himself as the national chairman of the party, despite being removed, and of running the Labour Party as a personal enterprise to pursue selfish ambitions. She stated that rather than fostering unity, Abure allegedly exploited his position for personal enrichment. Meanwhile, a faction of the Labour Party, led by Julius Abure, has suspended Alex Oti, governor of Abia State, and FCT Senator Ireti Kingibe indefinitely. The suspension was announced in a statement released by Labour Party National Secretary Umar Farouk Ibrahim today. In other news, the Senate has passed 2 out of 4 major tax reform bills, marking a significant milestone in the ongoing overhaul of the nation's tax administration framework. The 2 bills, one seeking to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act and another to establish the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill 2025, along with the Nigeria Revenue Service Bill 2025, were passed following a clause-by-clause consideration during the Committee of the Whole and their subsequent third reading on the Senate floor. On the international scene, medics say at least 20 Palestinians have been killed in 2 Israeli strikes on a crowded restaurant and market on the same streets in Gaza City. Graphic videos posted on social media showed bodies slumped over tables at a restaurant which had recently been operating as a community kitchen. Footage from the marketplace showed a small child lying dead in the street. The Israeli military said it was looking into the reports. Earlier, local hospitals said at least 59 people had been killed in attacks since Tuesday night, most of them at 2 schools serving as shelters for displaced families. On the news this evening, you heard a mother has cried out as her son and 7 other schoolgirls were abducted by pirates in River State. Civil society groups and a lawyer have called for inclusive peace talks amid Rivers emergency rule. The Abure-led Labour Party faction has suspended Governor Oti and Ireti Kingibe indefinitely. The Senate has passed 2 tax reform bills. On the foreign scene, Israeli strikes on Gaza City restaurant and market have killed 20 people. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.